Hey, Zach Tyler here. This is video number 6 in my free course on how to build passive income streams using WordPress. To watch all of the training videos in the correct order, you can find all of them for free on my website at zylercade.com/free-training. Enjoy. Please note, some sections of the original course content have been modified or removed in order to make this content relevant and up to date for 2024. Okay, so now that we have all of our plugins installed, the next thing that we are going to focus on is our WordPress theme. Like I've said in previous videos, your theme is going to determine a lot of the features that are related to how your website looks. So whether it be colors, or the locations of where certain things are, so how your posts are displayed, whether it's on your homepage or on a separate specific page, what you can edit, where ads or menus or what's called widgets, which is like your sidebar, whether it's your right sidebar or your left sidebar, all of those things are going to be determined by your theme. So just like plugins, there are a lot of free themes, there are also a lot of paid themes. We are going to be focusing on free themes, and even again, when we are installing a free theme, a lot of the free themes will have paid features that you can upgrade to get. In this particular example, we are not going to do any of those. So in order to install a theme, you're going to come over onto your left side menu, and under Appearance, there is a themes option. So we're going to left click that. And by default right now, depending on when you're installing this, every year WordPress, the company that puts WordPress together, that owns the WordPress platform, they create their default theme. Now, because I'm making this in 2023, they literally just call their themes the year. So currently the active theme that I have in here is called 2023. And it also, like you saw earlier when we first installed it, there's a couple of other themes that came in by default. There's 2021, I think 2022. And I usually just delete all of those. I delete all of the themes that I'm not using just because it clears up space from your server, and B, if you have additional things installed on your WordPress website that you're not using, it can potentially be a security risk. So whether it's plugins or themes, if you're not using them, just delete them. You can always reinstall them later. So once we're on our themes page, up on the top right here, there's a button that says Add New, so we're just going to click Add New. And immediately currently we're looking at over 5,000 different themes. So it automatically defaults to what's considered the popular list. So these are what WordPress considers the most popular themes in their entire repository, which is showing us over 5,000 options that we can install. If you click Latest, it goes to over 10,000 different options, and these are going to be the ones that have been most recently added to the repository. I'm just going to go back to popular. So depending on which theme you choose is entirely up to you. Some things to know about certain themes is some themes will allow you to edit way more stuff for free than other themes. So personally, my number one favorite theme is right here. It's called Astra. I consider Astra to be the best free theme with the most customizability for its free version. So like I said, a lot of other themes will only allow you to change certain things unless you update or upgrade to their paid version. Astra, combined with a plugin that we have, which is called Elementor, which we're going to get into in a minute. The plugin Elementor, combined with using the Astra theme, basically allows you to create any type of website you could possibly imagine. It really allows for full customizability and flexibility. In normal circumstances, I personally use the Astra theme for almost all of my websites. But I use it for websites that I want to actually build, a home page, a contact page, maybe a testimonials page, an about page. If you can see right here, so what I just did is click the details and preview button, and it opens up a screen where it kind of gives us a little description on the side and gives us a little preview of like what it could look like. Now, all of this is customizable, so this is not how it has to look like. For example, if we go to my own personal website, my House of Apex website is built using this theme, right? So I've changed the header image, the text, the colors, how everything's designed, what is where, all of my individual pages. These are all created using the Astra theme and the Elementor plugin. The Elementor plugin is what allows you to kind of create pages through drag and drop. So any of these pages are all created using those two tools. Now, That's great if you're going to be building websites for other people, or you're building a website for your business from like an information standpoint or like a visual standpoint. If you can have a contact page, if you're going to have all of these different types of pages that you want. It very much allows you to create a website kind of based on tables, right? So rows and columns, meaning if you look right here, this white area, right, this is a row and it's got the home title. Then this blue area right here is another row, but inside it, it's got two columns. It's got this left column right here, which has got this title, this text, and this button. And over here, it's got a picture. And then same thing here. We've got 4 columns, right? So we've got an icon, a title, and text, an icon, a title, and text, an icon, title. So this is 4 individual columns that fall within this one row. Same thing, we've got 3 columns here, we've got 2 columns here, we've got a single column here in another row. So Astra allows you to design drag and drop websites using rows and columns, again, when combined with the Elementor plugin. Now, the other thing I'm going to say is for this particular purpose, this course, right, the course that you're in right now, we are focused more on creating content that is going to get traffic to your website, content that is going to get traffic to and from your social media platforms, whichever social media platforms you decide to use. And so because what we're doing from an automation, from a content standpoint, personally, in this particular circumstance, I'm actually not going to use the Astra theme. We want to use something like a news website, because everything we're going to be doing is creating content. So if everything we're doing is going to be about creating content, then we want our main page to look more like a news site. So for example, like this. This we can see, yes, this is our home page, and they have an about page, and you can add other pages. But from a home page perspective, it's very much focused on the blog posts. So you've got your latest posts right here, maybe you've got a main post right here, you've got a couple of popular posts over here, you've got some post categories over here, right? So because we are focused on creating content, we are going to want to install a theme that allows us to focus more on the content and less on designing the entire website from scratch. Because that's the one thing with Astra, you're going to have to design the entire thing from scratch, right? So you're going to have to decide what things you want to go where. We want this to be as easy and as seamless as possible without having to do a lot of work. So personally, if I'm just going to be focused really on creating blog posts, because that is what we're going to be doing, I don't care so much about designing all of the individual pages. I am happier to just use a theme that kind of allows us to default with like having certain posts on the homepage and just kind of going from that. So I'm going to install the Astra theme first, just to show you how you can create pages using Elementor. So in order to install a theme, literally just like a plugin, I'm just going to click the install button, and then once it is installed, I am going to click activate. So we're going to wait for that activate button to show up. And then also, if you notice right now, this is another thing, is depending on which theme you install, is going to determine what options you see under appearance. So it's going to allow you to change what it is that you see, what you can edit. So now that Astra has been installed, I'm going to go ahead and click activate, and I'm going to open up my home page in an incognito tab so that it shows us as unlogged, so not logged in. So now we can see down at the bottom it says powered by Astra WordPress theme. So now we know that we are seeing the Astra theme. And as you can see, it's very basic to start. It's a very blank. The only thing we are seeing right now is we have one example post in here, which is the example post I created in the previous video. And that's it. That's all we're seeing. And the reason why we're seeing that is, so now if I come back to the dashboard, now you'll notice under appearance, I now have a couple of different options. And so one of those options that appears is called customize. So I'm going to go ahead and click customize. And this is going to bring us into the theme customizer. Now, a lot of the work that we're going to do is actually not going to be through here, but I just want to bring it to show it to you guys to kind of give you an idea of kind of some of the things that you can edit. The theme customizer allows you to change a lot of the global settings of your website. So your header, what it displays up here, the colors, the menus, where the menu is located. And that's the other thing, is depending on which theme you have installed is going to change where your menus are. So for example, the Astra theme, if I come down to menus right here and click view all locations, it shows us we have several different menus. So we have a primary menu, which is going to show up on this top right area or in the middle, depending on where we set it. A secondary menu also will show up under here, under this main header area. The off canvas menu, this is for cell phones. So when you're viewing your website on a cell phone and it creates the little like bacon strips at the top, that's what the off canvas menu is. Logged in, that's just if you're logged in, which I don't ever use, and then the footer menu is what actually show up down here. So you can create different menus for different locations. So maybe you want some links to show up on the top menu, you would create one menu for that, but then say you wanted to create different links to be on your footer menu, well then you would create a different menu for that, and you can just click create menu. And right now we don't have any options because we have no menus created. We also have no pages created right now. So we're very limited on what we can do. But as we create pages and we create menus, we can add those pages to the menus and then add the menus to these individual locations. You can go through this, if you install the Astra theme to start, you can go through this left side menu. This is where it allows you, like I said, you can change the global settings. So all of these settings can also be changed on individual pages, but this is just setting the default for any pages. And typically, you're not going to want to change a lot of this stuff on the individual pages because you want your pages to kind of work seamlessly with each other. You want them to look like you're all in the same website. So I would set a lot of the settings in here and then just leave them and not change them on the individual pages. But you can change a lot of this stuff on the individual pages if you want to. But so for example, if you click page right here, this is going to say anytime you create a new page, what are the default settings, right? So currently you can do, this is a boxed layout, you can do content box, you can do full width, contained, meaning the sides go all the way to the left and right, but the content itself is into like a certain width. Same thing, narrow width. So if you just play with these, and then same thing with a sidebar. Do you want a sidebar on all of your pages by default? This is currently set to no sidebar. You can make your sidebar so that it's left. You can make a sidebar so it's right. But currently, right now, we don't actually have any pages. And because we don't have any pages, it's just defaulting so that the homepage just shows us our latest post. So in order to change that, I'm going to exit out of here. And we're going to go quickly create 2 pages just for default purposes. So I'm actually going to, now I'm back in my dashboard, I'm going to go to pages and I'm going to delete that draft page that I created earlier. And now I'm just going to create a home page. I'm going to create a blog page. I'm going to show you why in a second. And so home, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to set any other settings. I'm literally just creating home and clicking publish. And then I'm going to go to add new page again. And I'm going to do blog. And then same thing, I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm literally just putting the name in there and then publishing. So now if we go to all pages, we can see I have 2 pages right now, home and blog. And I'm going to open them up in an incognito tab so you can see what they look like. They're going to be very basic. So this is what our home page looks like. And this is what our blog page looks like. So home and blog. And now you can also see we have a menu up here now. By default, any new pages we create, it'll automatically put them in that top right menu. But we can actually, again, we can change what shows up there. We can get rid of them from there if we want to. So now that we've created these pages, the reason why I created these is because I want to change the default homepage, right? So like right now, so we're gonna go back to appearance, go back to customize. And like I said, currently our homepage, if we just go to our website, so if I just go to skilledsurvival.com, right, our homepage is showing just our most recent post. Whatever our most recent post is, which we only have one, that's what we're seeing. I want to change it so that it's showing that homepage that I just created. And so in order to do that, we'll come back to appearance and we'll come down to homepage settings, which we didn't have this before because we didn't have any existing pages. But see, now we can say your homepage displays what? Right now it's set to your latest posts, but we're going to change it to a static page, and now this gives us options for a home page and options for a posts page. So for home page, I'm going to select the home that I just made, and for posts page, I'm going to select blog, and I'm going to click publish. Now, when we go to our website, we're seeing that home page instead of those latest posts. Okay, so that's going to be step number 1. Step number 2, once you've changed all of your, global settings in here, and like I said, this course is not to like teach you how to like become a hardcore website developer. So you definitely want to go play with these settings yourself. I'm not going to go into each one. And I promise there's a ton of YouTube videos. If you literally just go Google or go YouTube, like WordPress for beginners. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel that goes a little bit more in depth about the dashboard and, the using this to build websites and everything. So definitely you can go ahead and check that out. But the reason why I wanted to install this Astra theme first is to show you how Elementor works. And so now that we have a few pages, I'm going to go into those pages. I'm actually going to go into the home page. And now I'm in the home page, we now have a button up here that says Edit with Elementor. So I'm going to, and actually before I do that, over here on the right, see how it says template is default template? I'm actually going to change that to Elementor full width, and then click this update button. And that's going to change again if I open that page up and I click refresh. Now it just got rid of that home, and what it did was it changed our ability to edit from all the way 100% to the left, all the way to 100% to the right. And that's going to be important as we make things, we want them to be completely wide, like if we make put a background image or anything like that. So now that I've done that, I'm going to click this Edit with Elementor button. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to open up that page in what's called the Elementor editor. And click OK. I'm going to exit out this. And now this is where you can essentially do the drag and drop, right? So by default, you'll start with a row. So you'll create a row and you will determine how many columns are in that row. And then what you'll do is we will add, so over here on the left, we have what's called elements. Elements such as headings, images, text, videos, buttons. You can put dividers, you can put spacers, icons. There are some pro options. I'm just going to hide those because we're not going to use those. WordPress has some default stuff in here. So I'm going to, and then depending on other plugins that you install, will add different what's called widgets or elements that you can add in here. But so the first thing we're going to do is just going to click this little plus button. It's going to ask you how many columns you want, right? So typically what we see on any website is a single column at the top with a header. So I'm going to click this single right here. This is one column. And now what this has created is it's created this first row, which you can see is outlined in this blue outline. And then it's got this one column, and when I hover over it, you see this little like pop-up. And so depending on what it is that you want to edit, you're going to select different areas. So if you want to edit the entire row, right, this entire area that is surrounded in this blue border, you're going to click this little button, left click this little button right here. Now we're selected this section, and you can see up on the top left, it says Edit Section, and you can change all of the information in here. So we've got the basic layout information, we've got basic structure, so if you want to change that. Right now the content width is boxed, which means by default the content will only go, I think it's 800 pixels to the left and to the right. Style, you can change the background, change overlays, change the borders. So for example, if we want to change the background of this entire row, I can click this little like classic and I can change the color. So I'll change it to like red, and you can see, so now we're changing the background of that entire row. But now let's say we want to edit the column instead. So the column, as you see, like I said, it's where this little plus button is. Also, you're seeing this little pop-up right here. So let's say we want to put a heading inside this column. We'll click this little button up here with the squares, and you just left click and drag and drop a heading, and you'll see how that pops up with a little blue, and we're saying that's where we're dropping it. We're dropping it inside that column. And so here, now we are editing the heading. And here you can put the information here. So we'll put, this is a heading. And again, you can change all of the information from here. The style, we can center it if we want to. We can make it a link if we want to. From the style, we can change the text color. We can make it white if we wanted. Typography, this is where you can change, the font family. You can change the size if you want to. And then if you want to, like, say, add spacing, like blank space above and below, there are several ways you can do that. One of the ways you can do that is you can go to advanced, and you can do margins and paddings. So by default, they're linked together. So if I put one here it adds, that much space, that much pixels in between each area, top, right, bottom, and left. But you can also unlink them and then say you just wanted to do the top and the bottom, then you would do, set them individually. And the reason why you might want to do that is if you have the right and the left also set, then when you open up on your phone, it might make it squish. So sometimes if you're doing big headings like this, you only want to put paddings or margins on the top and the bottom. That way it doesn't affect it when you open it on mobile. Another way that you can do it is if we go back to our elements, we have a spacer option, right? So you could drag and drop a spacer above and drag and drop a spacer below, and now that adds more space as well. And then again, see now if I hover over these individual elements, we get a little blue border over those, and you can left click the button, and now we're editing the spacer. So if you want, right now by default it's at 50 pixels. Let's say I want it to be 100 pixels, then I can make it 100. If I want this one, left click that, maybe I want it to be 25. And so there are several different ways that you can do things. And then again, going back to the column, right now we're in one column. Well, what if you want to add another column inside this row? You can just right click the column right here and click duplicate, and now it's actually duplicated the entire column, right? So now we have two columns. Or I can right click it and click delete, and I could actually also just right click and click add new column, and now it adds an entirely new column where I can come up to the elements and I can click image and I can drag and drop. Let's say I want to put an image in there, and now I have an image. And then in order to add the image in here, I would just click choose image. I can either come to my media library where I already have some images, or you could upload a new one and upload from your computer. Click insert, and now we can change the setting, the size, and change it to that. You can change the alignment. For style, again, you can go in and add different styles, normal versus hover, border types, or if you want to make it a link, you can turn it into a link, stuff like that. So really, again, this is if you're going to design a website from scratch and you want to have full customizability of it, this is how you would do it, is using the Astra theme combined with the Elementor plugin. And this is how you can, turn a blank website into really anything you want, right? So now let's say I wanted to add a new row. I click this and I want to have 3 columns. Now I've got 3 columns in here that I could add, a button here, and center that, right? And then I can actually just right click and duplicate that button and drag it, drop here. I can right click and duplicate that button again, drag and drop here. Maybe we want to add some icons, right? So if you're like offering services and you've got different services, the icons have, different options. You go to the icon library. Like literally there's a million different things that you can do. I could then come into the row settings, right? So I'm editing they call it a section. I call it a row, but it's a section. It's the entire thing going left from right. And then for the content width, you can either do full width, which makes it all the way to 100%, or you can do boxed, and then you can choose the width of the entire area that you want it to be, right? So if I could do the same thing here, go to layout, content width, and change the width so that you determine how far to the left and the right the content goes according to the size of that section. So I'm going to reset that. Just erase that, and then duplicate that. And then also, again, you want to add more space in between the top area and there. You could either add spacers into each individual box, or you come to the advanced. I'm currently in the section, right? So I click these little blue, which is doing the entire row. And I can add padding. I'm going to uncheck that. And for padding, I'll put maybe, 25 at the top and then 25 at the bottom, and now we have a little bit of space on the top and the bottom. And then you could also duplicate an entire row, right? So now I could come up here and I could say duplicate this entire row, and now I can left click and drag and drop this row below here, and now we have a row with this, we've got a row with that. Maybe I want to get rid of this heart and just have a heading, and we will edit this spacer back down to 50, and then we will change the background of this row to maybe blue. And so if I were to save this, this is now what our home page looks like, which of course not very exciting. I'm just kind of like playing around with stuff just so you can see it. But that is how you will create pages and edit them individually using the Astra theme along with the Elementor plugin. All of that being said, we are focused on blog posts and creating blog post content. So what does that mean? Oh, by the way, in order to save all of this, you click the update button down at the bottom. Click update, and now if I open up, so this is our homepage before we made all of the edits. All I do is click refresh, and now this is what the website looks like to anybody who goes and visits it. Now I'm going to get rid of this all because we're not using this theme, and we're not going to build the pages in that same format. I just wanted to show that to you so that you understand that really, if you use those two things, if you want to build websites for other people, or you want to build a website for your own personal business that's not about necessarily content, or you want to create custom home pages, then and a contact page and stuff like that, that is how you're going to do it. So now once you're done here, I'm just going to come over to this top left like bacon strips button. I'm going to click exit, and this is going to bring us back to the dashboard. Please excuse the quick interruption. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're finding this video helpful so far, please hit the like button and subscribe for more helpful content like this. And if you are enjoying this content, then you will love my free community. Lazy Worker University is a free membership-based community dedicated to helping you unlock your potential by teaching you various digital skills and passive income strategies. Some of the things that you'll find inside include monthly group coaching calls, comprehensive courses, community connections with other like-minded entrepreneurs, networking opportunities, and so much more. You can join for free by visiting zylercade.com/LWU or by using the link in the description below. Now, back to the training. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to appearance, I'm going to go back to themes, and I'm going to go back to add new. And so I'm actually going to, like I said, because we're going to be focusing on blog posts and blog content, I want to install a theme that is designed for blog posts. And honestly, news sites are really what it is that we're trying to go for, right? The goal is to create a bunch of articles. We're going to create a bunch of articles about whatever our niche topic is. And when people come to our website, we just want them to be going to our articles, or we want those articles to be being shared across different social media. So there are a lot of ones that you can go through. And again, really, it's up to you. You know, they've got this Newspaper X one, which is pretty good. If I scroll down, Color Mag is another good one. So if I click preview. And so personally, I like this one because of and for some reason the images aren't loading, but I like this one because they have different sections that you can add like headers, right? So if I'm creating skillofsurvival.com, which is going to be about survival and prepping and like doomsday prepping and like wilderness type stuff and everything like that, maybe I'm going to want, a food section, maybe I'm going to want like a shelter section, maybe I'm going to want, a tools section, water, technology, like different things about hunting or survival, right? Camping, like fire, starting fires, like building shelters, finding food, like all of these different subtopics that fall under survival and prepping. I'm going to want, different areas. So I really like this one because it gives you the option to like have these different areas on your homepage. So I might use this one. But just to show you a couple of other options, we have two others that I like are news blog and news card. So let me see if I can, I kind of like this one because this one's like got a darker theme to it. And again, depending on which one you install is going to determine like kind of what settings you can edit. So they might not necessarily let you edit the background black, but maybe they'll let you edit this pinkish red to make it like a different color or something, right? They might let you change the header image in the background, but they might not necessarily let you move the main title or the main headline like from the middle to the left. So just, it depends on what it is that you want to edit. That one's all right. News back. Like I said, I like news blog right here. So this was one of the ones that I liked. Again, you've got a header post here, so they've got like 3 main ones right here. They've got a slider right here, which has got a couple of different ones. You've got categories, you've got a post section here, you've got another post section here. This is the one that I'm probably going to start with because I really like how it has the different sections. And over on the right-hand side here, this is what we call the right sidebar, where you can put widgets. And so maybe if you're going to be selling ad space, which is one of the things that I do, or if you're going to be promoting affiliate products, you can put links to your affiliate products over on the right-hand side here as a way to monetize your content. So I am going to start with this one, I think. Hopefully I can change the coloring because I don't really love the coloring. Although, to be honest, I don't really like that there's no like background. I'm going to install Newsblog, and I think I'm also going to install NewsCard. You can go with any of these. Like I said, I suggest one that has a focus on blogs. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you're going to be able to create blog regardless of which theme you go with. You're going to be allowed to create blogs. I mean, that's what WordPress was built for, was blogs. This trending news one looks kind of cool, although I hate when they're previews. For some reason, you know how you see this preview right here with like the green and the menu and the ad and like the whatever? I hate when you open it up and it doesn't look like that. For some reason, some of them look the way that their thumbnail does, and then some of them do not. And honestly, I don't understand why some of them don't look the way that they do on the image. Now, you can make them look like that. So, I mean, just because it doesn't look like it in the thumbnail. But I do kind of like this one. So this one's got like a main story here. You've got editor's picks and trending stories. These are all, I'm sure, editable, right? So instead of it being called editor's picks, I might be able to change it to, water, right? Or like hunting. And then instead of trending stories, I could probably change it to, weapons or food storage, right? And then popular stories, like you can change these headlines. So I'm going to install this one too. And the reason why I'm installing a couple of them, I'm installing NewsCard. I also installed this other news one I saw a minute ago. Current news, I think, maybe. Honestly, I don't remember what. Oh, no, Newsblog right here. And the reason why I'm installing Color Mag right here, so I'm going to install this one as well. Now, the reason why I'm installing all 3 of these is because, honestly, I just want to play around with them. I want to see the different options of what I can edit with each of them to see which one I like the most. Like I said, with like Color Mag, this one, it doesn't look like there's going to be like a header image, which I don't necessarily like. I don't like that I can't put a header image there. So I probably won't end up using that one. But we'll see, so go through, figure out which one you want, and then I'm going to come back to my themes. And so now I have a total of 5 themes installed right now. I'm going to delete 2023 because I'm definitely not going to use that one. And Astra, I'm also not going to use, like I said, because this website in particular is going to be based on blog posts. So I already know I'm going to choose a theme that is going to be based on blog posts. And honestly, just looking at these thumbnails of these 3, I like the way that NewsCard looks the best. I like how it has a header image at the top. This Color Mag may allow us to install a header image, but I'm not 100% sure. And honestly, this Newsblog one, actually, now that I'm looking at it again, kind of looks a little boring to me, maybe. But I do, again, I like the fact that it has the different sections. So I don't know. So I'm going to start with NewsCard. So I'm going to go ahead and activate NewsCard. And then once that's activated, I am going to get rid of Astra because I don't want Astra. So I'm going to click that, go to the bottom right and click delete. And so now I have these 3 installed and I am going to start editing from here. Now, just if you also are using NewsCard, depending on which theme you install, you might notice you might get some like suggestions of like, hey, we suggest you use this plugin, or we suggest you do this. You don't have to do these. I'm going to click this to just see what it does. So this is one issue. This plugin has not been tested with your current version of WordPress. So let me see. This best feature of this plugin is that the theme authors can define import files. I'm not going to do this for now. I typically don't ever do the suggestions because I like to do everything on my own. So I'm going to click dismiss. And then I'm also going to close out this. If I click this button, get started with NewsCard, it's probably going to bring me to the customize section. Oh, no, it did not. So this is giving us some recommended stuff to do. I am not going to go through this. I'm actually just going to go to customize and get started customizing it myself. So here's what my website looks like right now. As it is, I only have one post, and so if I actually go back to my page, my home page, from the incognito tab and click refresh, we'll now see this is what my website looks like. So very basic. We've got our menu is in the top left. There's a search option on the right. We've got some, looks like whatever our most latest posts are scrolling right there up at that top area. We've got main stories, editor's picks, trending stories, popular stories, and then you miss. Now, if you notice, these all show the exact same thing, right? And you'll notice they're black. They're black because there's no featured image. So in order to change that, I'm actually going to exit out of the customize real quick. I'm going to go over to my posts. I'm going to do, so example post, I'm going to go in there and I am going to scroll down to featured image over on the right, and I'm going to add that heart as a featured image just so we can, and I'm going to click update, just to show you guys kind of how some things are changing. So now if I click refresh, we're going to see that heart all over the place. There we go. Because right now it's using that single post for all of these areas. But what we're eventually going to do is we're going to create tags and we're going to create categories. And once we create tags and categories, we can assign those tags and categories to different areas. So once we say we'll have, 10 blog posts, right? Depending on which tags or categories they fall under, that will change where they start to appear in these areas. And so if you notice, like I said before, depending on which theme you have installed is going to change what options you have in this customize area. So we definitely have different options than when we had the Astra theme installed. Because we're using the blog post style theme instead of like Astra where it's super customizable, I'm actually going to change, if we go back into the home page settings, remember how a static page, we had set that up? Let me see what it does for your latest post. So one of the things you need to know is that depending on what type of theme you have installed, I'm going to exit out of here again really quick. If we go back to our pages and I go to my home page, notice how it says it's set to the front page, right? So the front page, if I go over to template, I'm actually going to change that template to theme or front page template. Whatever, depending on which theme you have installed, you either want it to be like front page or theme, or it might even be default. Default probably will work just fine, because since we're using the themes homepage instead of customizing our own like we did with Astra, there are going to be certain settings under the customize area that will only apply if you set the page to be that style page. So I'm also going to go create, I feel like I keep coming back here, but I'm going to go create one more post, so we have two different posts to see examples of. So I'm going to go to posts, I'm going to click add new, and I'm going to call this one a different story. This is a second post to show a different story and different posts, right? Just to give an example there. I'm going to scroll down, set featured image, media library. I'm going to upload a different media file just so that we have a different option. I don't know what images these are because they're all in my Dropbox. We'll do this abs icon, see what it is. I think great. That's gonna be our featured image for that. So I'm gonna click publish. I'm going to open up that page back up and I'm going to refresh so we can see that. So now, again, we're seeing different posts, right? So and you can see it says uncategorized. That's because we haven't created any categories yet. So one of the ways that you can create categories is either in an individual post. So over on this right-hand side, if this drop down, we've got categories. You can click add new category. So maybe I could do, hunting would be one, fishing might be one, shelter, right, might be one. So you can, depending on what your niche is, you're going to have different categories. So maybe this particular post is going to be about fishing. So I'm going to click update. And then you can do the same thing with tags. So fishing, survival, outdoors, food, right? And you just put a comma, and anytime you put a comma, it creates a new one. So I'll click update. So now we've got a couple of tags, we've got a couple of categories. You can also, over on the left side under posts, you can also go to categories, and you can create all of your individual categories that you want to, and then same thing with tags. So if you already have a list of categories, a list of tags that you're going to create, you can go ahead and put them all in here, and then that way they're ready to go when you need them, or you can just add them as you do them. Now, the reason why I did that is I'm going to go back to my posts. And I want these to be different. So I'd have the one fishing category. I'm going to do a quick edit for my example post. And instead of fishing, I'm going to call that one shelter. And I'm going to click update. So now we have 2 different posts in 2 different categories. So if I go back to my home page, I click refresh. So now we've got fishing and we've got shelter. And I actually don't like that image because of how dark it is. So I'm going to change out that image. So go back to featured image, replace image. And let's see, pixels free photos. Cool. So I'm just going to select this pixels free photo, click update, and now I'm going to come back to the page and click refresh. Okay, so now we've got 2 different post types and we're kind of seeing where they show. So now we've got a couple of things to play with. I'm going to come back to appearance. I'm going to come back to customize. And this is where we're going to start to kind of change some stuff. So depending on the theme that you have installed, you're going to want to go down this entire left-hand side menu and go through and see what you can change. Because honestly, depending on what your theme is going to change what you can set. So site identity, that's typically pretty common for all of them. If you have a logo, you can add it here. That means it'll probably show up here. I don't have one, so I'm not going to do that. You can choose whether or not you want to display your site title for your tagline. For the love of life. Skill of survival, for the love of life. Why not? So I'm going to click publish, any changes you make, and now if I come up here, I hit refresh, now that's added there, right? So I'm going to go back, colors, again, header text, I can change that if I want to. I'm going to leave that for now. Header media, so I can add a video or I can add an image. So add new image, let's see if I click that, select and crop. I'm going to click skip cropping. Let's see where it puts that. Ooh, wow. Okay, no, we are definitely going to crop that. So let's get rid of that, do add new image again, do that, select and crop. Where is the crop? Crop image. Woo! No, okay. So for some reason, so this is another weird thing, is I'm going to just delete that for now, but some websites or some themes will default crop it for you so it only fit inside this. Like no matter how big the image is, it would only allow it to fit inside like this white space. This one in particular doesn't. So like I can do add new image and click that. Let's see. I'll do crop image again just to see what it does. And then if you notice, it gives me this randomized uploaded headers. What's that? Oh, so I thought it might just like generate an image. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm not gonna use that because absolutely not. That's just okay. So we're gonna get rid of that. Background image. What is that for? So literally, I'm just gonna go through this and see. Oh, so if I wanted a background image in this area, then it lets me do that. And you can change, let's see, default. I want it to fill the screen. I want it to be in the center. And there. So now if I want that to be my background image of here, then cool, I can do that. Again, I'm just going to remove that because I don't want that for now. Menus, we don't have any pages yet, so I'm not going to do that. Widgets. So the widgets are going to be for different areas. Right sidebar, that's typically going to be either in your individual posts or, like I said, down here over on the right. So if I click right sidebar, it says welcome to block widgets. Great, got it. Currently, this is our sidebar over here. So what you're seeing over here on the right-hand side is what I also see over here. So I've got recent posts, recent posts, recent comments, recent comments. Archives, archives, right? So depending on what you want to show up over here, you can either add things or get rid of them. You just click that. I'll do, remove heading, remove latest posts, right? And so, or maybe you want specific posts to show up over here so that you would just click this little plus button, or if you want like categories, we have archives. I'm going to get rid of archives. I'm going to get rid of that. Recent comments, again, because we had comments turned, I personally have comments turned off, so I'm going to get rid of those as well. And actually, I want to get rid of these entire sections. If you notice, they're disappearing over on the right-hand side as I get rid of them, but maybe categories, I want to keep that, right? And the search, I want to keep that. But then, as I was saying, let's say you're an affiliate for something, and we'll get way into, when we go into the monetization section, we'll get way more in depth with this. But let's say you're an affiliate for some hunting, like I'm an affiliate for some hunting program. I could click this button, this plus button, click image, right? And then upload an image of whatever the affiliate mark of the affiliate is, right? Maybe there's an ad, like maybe a lot of affiliate programs have like pre-made pictures that you can just save, that you can just download. So I would save one of their pre-made ads, upload it as an image, and then I can click this little where'd it go? Whoop. Click this, oh, right here. Click this little insert link button, and then, put your affiliate link here, houseofapex.com / Amazon, right? And click this little button. I also like to make sure you can do this little drop down. I always do open in a new tab. Personal opinion, you don't have to do that, or personal preference, but that way it keeps people on your site, right? So instead of just making them leave your website and go to Amazon, now this would open up this link in a new tab, and then that way they're still on your site. So if I click publish, I come back to my homepage, I click refresh. Now, if I scroll down, I've got this image, and let's say it was a picture of an ad, and I click it. Well, now it's opened up. What did I do? I did the link wrong. What did I do? Let me click that again. Click link, edit, HTTPS. I might have to do that. Publish. Okay, let me refresh it. Don't forget the HTTP or HTTPS, because it was trying to just add it as a link to my own site. So if I click that, and now that's an affiliate link. So let's say I was going to directly to a product, right? And it was promoting like some bow, and I had a link going to a bow, and then they click it, and it opens up an Amazon, and they buy it. Now I make an affiliate commission off of that. So this is just one place where you can put affiliate products or affiliate links by putting ads on your site on the right-hand side. Or same thing on the individual post. So if I open up this post, that same image now appears here. So your right bar, wherever you have your right bar implemented, that's where it's going to show up, is over on that right-hand side. So that's how you can edit those. These are called, like I said, your widgets. You've got your right sidebar. You've got your front page sidebar section, which, what is this? I don't even know. So let's add another image. Select an image, media library. I'm going to upload another one just because I want to see where these are appearing. Select, and where is that showing up? I don't see it. Do you guys see it? Probably not. So let me open up one of these posts and see if maybe it's on one of there. Nope. And then you can also see, so now we've got like these related posts. So as we get more stuff in here, it will show related posts throughout your website based on like keywords between the tags and the categories and stuff like that. And then your footer column, so I'm going to go back to the home page, and then your footer column area is going to be down here. So footer column 1, again, I'm going to throw a random picture in here. Let's see, so now you've got your footer columns over here. So again, if you want to do more affiliate links or images, you could put them down here. So we've got the one there. We can go to footer column 2. That's going to be select image. Media library, I'll do that one. So now we've got that there, right? You can make those links, or you can also, we can go to column 3 and we can do, say, text, paragraph, right? Add a paragraph there. And now you can put, here is some paragraph text. If you want some text there, maybe a little about section. If you want to do a link, so link 1, link 2. And then what you can do is highlight this. And again, same thing, turn it into a link. So maybe you want it to be, to the home page. So you can put in your link for, skillofsurvival.com, right? And so that could be maybe a link to your home page. Maybe you've got a link to your blog page. So really, the things that you can do are going to be completely based on your theme. Homepage settings, that we've already covered. Layout, for your global layout, you want the sidebar on the right, left, no sidebar, and what that's going to look like is if I open up a individual post, right? Currently our sidebar is on the right, no sidebar, full width, so that makes it full width. So left sidebar, I don't know why it's not adding a sidebar on the left. So that might be another setting that we have to go and check out. It might be in a different area. Social profiles, so add the link to your social profiles. So let's see, HTTPS facebook.com/apexhouse. Let's see where it puts that. So if you add that, separate with comma. So HTTPS Instagram.com/apexhouse. So now if you look on this top right, we have a Facebook link and we have an Instagram link, right? So if I click publish and I go back to my home page, now I have a Facebook link up here and I have an Instagram link up here. So the fact that I can put those up there is completely predicated on the fact that that's just a feature of this particular theme. Another theme might have those maybe located down here instead of up here, or maybe it's located down here instead of up here. So you're just gonna have to go through all of these settings and, advertisement image. So they have a spot for advertisements. Let me see if I click that. Let me click that, choose image. Great, so you want to put another affiliate product? Put it here. You can also sell ad space. So if you are a website about fashion and makeup, right? So you are creating all this content about fashion and makeup and beauty products, beauty tips, things like that. You can reach out to, a company and be like, hey, I have this website. I get X amount of traffic per day or per week or per month, which you will be able to know based on, if I'm going to go ahead and click publish, I'm going to exit this out just to go back to our dashboard. So our Google Site Kit will give you that information. So once you start generating traffic from your website, you will actually start to see how, search traffic over the last 28 days, right? Total impressions, clicks, unique visitors, and how your content is doing, what pages are being viewed, how long they're being viewed. So you can bring this information to a company that maybe sells makeup products, right? And say like, hey, I have this website, it gets X amount of traffic per day, per week, per month, per year, and I would love to advertise your product, and then be like, pay me $500 a month and we can put an ad on my homepage, right? Or you can determine if you want an ad on the right sidebar, it's $200 a month, but if you want it to be on the main header up at the top, it's $500 a month or $1,000 a month. So again, we'll get all into that, from the once we get into the monetization standpoint, but just to show you quick things that we can do, how we're going to start kind of really putting this website together. So that's going to be the end of this video. I know this one's really long. I appreciate you sticking with me. Again, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to go through and kind of clean this up, get rid of a lot of this stuff. And then we are going to, now I'm really excited because now is really where we're going to start moving into the content ideas, content generation, and really start powering. Now that we have our website set up and you have a basic understanding of how it all kind of works, go through, play around, and in the next section is where we're going to start idea generation, content generation, and starting to get content out on our website so that we can start generating traffic, generating money, and going from there. So I hope you found this video helpful and you're enjoying the rest of the course content. Links for all of the tools, platforms, and resources mentioned in this video can be found below. Additionally, if you have any questions or need further guidance, feel free to leave your questions or comments in the comment section or reach out in our free membership community. You can also find additional free training and other valuable resources at xylarcade.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.